Hey, Afro Dave,
Yo,
why did the ladies love Jesus?
I don't know.
Because he's hung like this, bro.
Oh God. Oh God.
Welcome to the Manchilding is Hard podcast. It has been a little bit since our last episode because I am moving to a better location in a larger place because I can. Recession that. Uh, Today, my guest is an old friend, a new friend, not a girlfriend, a boyfriend.
Oh,
It's my good buddy, David Booth, or as we like to call him, Afro Dave, because his afro for a time was absolutely stunningly epic. David, how are you?
I'm doing great tonight. It's fun to be on this with you and complain about all the man-child things we have to do.
Absolutely. I was kind of thinking, I kind of had a really cool idea. And I don't like to brief guests on like the idea for the show because what I'd like to do is kind of get your genuine reaction or
That's fine.
opinion or whatever. So today's episode will be about whoa, my light just ran away on me there.
The halo descends upon thee for the Jesus
Yes.
joke.
Yeah, God's mad. It's okay. I'm Catholic. I can take care of it later. It just did it again. It's all going to shit. I don't like that. I don't really want it.
It's all right. I found out yesterday while I was resetting up my stuff that my boom arm is holding itself together by sheer force of will.
So technical difficulties aside, career changes in the age of COVID,
Yeah.
because I know we talked briefly about it. I know you have kind of experienced some of that. I definitely experienced some of that. So, and I know actually know quite a few people that have made spontaneous, sporadic career changes. Some out of necessity, some out of survival, some out of circumstance, and some out of I mean, there's 1,000 reasons. But I figured it's something we could like pontificate on, and maybe what we do to try and stay fresh and stay like not depressed all the time. So I know that recently I've talked about it on the podcast before that I basically became the executive director of a nonprofit, and it's a career path that I really believed in, but like I basically beat it out of the world like alchemy. It's just like I created this, and like when COVID hit, and then obviously I do gear reviews, like music gear reviews on the internet, um, and actually do okay doing that. But like these are career paths that I did not previously have before, and like COVID gave me the time to make them reality.
Well, that's just freaking awesome. You took the ingredients, you came up with your own philosopher's stone.
Yeah, no, I kissed me the Blarney Stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is an amazing song by Ween. You should definitely
Mm.
check that out. The Blarney Stone. It's really good. But tell us a little bit about what you did before, Dave.
Uh, well, worked above latitude 80 up in Alaska, which for those who know, latitude only goes up to 90. So pretty much I was
I've been
damn near
there,
at the tip
buddy.
top of the world.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. No, I worked in the oil field as a MWD field engineer
Tell them the
and
name of the place where you worked.
Prudhoe Bay. Well, actually, the specific site was Milne Point.
That's top of the earth for those
Yeah.
uninitiated. I've
Yeah.
been there.
I mean,
It's
you could walk up to the edge of the Arctic Ocean and take a leak, but if anybody saw you, then you'd be strapped with fines and sent home.
You could punch Santa in the nuts. I mean,
Yeah.
like you could walk up and punch Santa in the nuts.
when you see warning, there's polar bears around signs, you don't take that lightly. That means there's literally a
Or
polar bear.
wolves, or like, like terrible wolves. And Liam Neeson fighting wolves with little bottles broken off in his fingers.
Oh yeah, that was such a great movie.
It was. My dad hated it, and I'm like, you're dumb.
I mean, once I got past the glowing red wolf eyes, I was okay with it. But that was a big hurdle at the beginning for me to get past.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a wolf's eyes in firelight?
Can't say that I have.
Yeah, they're red. It's really creepy. Have you seen like, yeah, dude, seriously, like in the firelight, because they already have the glowy eyes anyway.
Yeah.
It's like a dog. When you see a dog, you know how their eyes have that kind of like reflective sheen.
Yeah.
Which gives them night vision. That's ridiculous. Yeah, when you have the firelight, it was red. It's so wasn't that, I didn't throw me at all.
Gotcha. I guess I'm only used to the standard green reflection of when you're shining a flashlight around and you see the two eyes just in there looking at you and you're like, oh, hi.
Yeah. It's either me or you, bro. That's how it's gonna go down. So you worked in Prudhoe Bay. Sorry, I got sidetracked with Liam Neeson, but you worked in Prudhoe Bay.
Yeah, so I worked there for a good long time. And
what did you do?
I was in charge of measuring and logging while we were poking holes in earth. Going down for most of the work on the slope is for oil, but there's also natural gas reserves up there. A lot of them are split.
I got some natural gas reserves right here, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Give me a lighter. Flamer time.
You got rocket fuel. Yeah. No, it was mainly my job was to prepare, diagnose, and configure the tools that would go down hole to both tell us where we're going, what we're going through, and give us an idea, give them a way to find their end goal. And depending on the job, it depended from just basic, where are we and where are we going, to, well, I'll just say like underground readings that let the geologists know exactly what we're going. So that way they can base off of their seismic readings of the formations we're passing through. So that way, if they need to adjust the well plan on the fly, they can. So it helps them optimize the trajectory. So that way you're not just aimlessly poking in the ground, hoping you strike black gold like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Nerd. Let's put this as humbly and lightly as I can. Dave Booth here is one of the smartest people I know, and I know some pretty smart people. I'm not stupid most of the time.
Hey, we're all stupid some of the time.
But as we all know, given COVID, and given just I don't want to get into like the political thing, but just the political climate now. David, what are you doing currently?
I've actually got a couple things going. I remembered that I actually still have my teacher certificate from years back, and so
you're gonna do physical education, right? No. You can't. Hey, those that can't do teach, and those that can't teach gym.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as the meantime, it was a great way to start keeping my income going. As far as other parts too, working as a line cook, because I've always been good at cooking, so might as well as keep myself busy, because they always say idle hands are the devil's playground. And so
that's why I keep mine up front on camera.
Fill in where I can.
This ain't no OnlyFans, The hands just kind of disappear.
I'm not handsome enough for that.
Well, you don't have hands. Dude. You don't only hands. If that's not a thing, the trademark. I'm trademarking that. You can't have any. I'd watch that thing. But so I mean, like for me, I just saw the writing on the wall. Like I was very much like a career in sales is definitely not a career that you want to have, even though I was ridiculously good at it. It's not a career that I felt okay. So like, I knew I can see I've always had the gift of foresight to some degree. You know this, like, where I see the shit coming down. You know what I mean? Like I see it coming down, and I'm pretty good at landing on my feet, no matter what happens. This. I mean, you've known me long enough. But I wanted a career that couldn't be taken away. I wanted to make myself so valuable, and in something that where the need for what I was doing was so great that it would never go away. And essentially that's what I did. And plus, I've always been to some degree charitable in nature. I always try to do something where I'm giving back or something. And it's a very selfish need that I do this for. It's not like people are like, oh man, that's so great what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm very much fulfilling a little selfish need because it helps me feel better about myself to help others.
Yeah.
It really does. So I've always tried to find some kind of avenue to do that my whole life. I used to be like a coach at a special needs camp. We do like music and stuff, for special needs kids, and then, work at the food bank. I did that for probation once.
You gained experience.
I did, but it was, yeah, I got busted with a bunch of weed. But tomato doesn't.
Can you classify that? That's a herb, right? It's just part of cooking.
It wasn't then.
Oh, okay.
And weirdly enough, as cliche as this sounds, it wasn't even my weed.
Oh.
It was someone else's that I was picking up for them. So I was actually trafficking weed.
Yes,
but I just figured it was better to just say, yeah, it's mine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Less questions that way.
Well, luckily, I got off super light because a friend of mine was dating the DA.
Ooh.
So he knew me. It was a conflict of interest. So she's just like, we're gonna pop you out. You work at the food bank for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I haven't quite found, like, you were fortunate enough to have the foresight to kind of see an avenue where you could thrive. For me, I'm still, I guess, looking at that. When I first got out, it sounds kind of weird to say, but the work schedule when you're doing what I used to do is not really conducive to having a life. It's great if you.
I've had jobs like that. I get it. Yeah, you don't have much of a life outside of it.
Yeah. And so it's weird to say, but from getting booted out, I got to get my life back. Like I got to actually get in touch with my friends again. My family started actually getting out and enjoying stuff because that was when, everything was hard locked down. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to go where there's less people and ride my motorcycle all over the place. So that felt a lot better than.
Sounds like heaven, man.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Come back at the end of the day, play video games, wake up, nice weather. All right, I'll go for a ride. Raining. All right, I'll play video games.
One thing I've discovered, it's the irony of life. Like I've discovered the irony of life is this: when you're young, you don't have money to do stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So you always dream about, the time when I can afford to do this or that. But when you get old, we are old, oldish,
hey.
Young at heart.
Yes.
But the shit's coming down. Like, yeah, I've got problems, dude. I wake up.
You introduced me as Afro Dave, and everybody's going, what?
There was a time. No, it was a glorious afro. And it still lives. It's still around in here.
Yeah. I just joke that, the hair's no longer growing as much up here and it's just receding down to here.
Dude, you're owning it. As long as you own it, who cares? I'm always going to have my hair. That's just the thing. It's just me, but I'm hairy in all the right spots, ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, Carly, speaking of ladies, Carly says hi.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I hope
I forgot to tell her, and I just I looked at my watch and I was like, oh shit, it's time. I gotta go do a podcast with Dave. And she's like, oh, like David Booth? I'm like, yeah. She's like, tell him I said hi. anyways, when I
Uh,
wake up, okay, so when I wake up in the morning, I got aches and pains. I have to take like a like an antacid every morning because I have acid reflux. Uh, Recently my tinnitus has been acting up, so now I have ear drops.
that's fun.
It's from years of playing live music.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not
Well,
that
I
terrible.
swear that I live on ibuprofen now.
I try to limit my intake of ibuprofen. But anyways, you get old, your body starts falling apart, but you get the money thing kind of figured out, And then I'm not like swimming. I'm not like a rich man, but I'm comfortable and I
Hmm.
can afford all the things that I wanted because I never wanted anything that was like crazy. I just like stuff like retro gaming. That's where I'm at. If we're gonna like relate on a gaming, because you're an avid gamer, you always have been.
Hmm.
But for me, retro gaming is where I live and breathe. Like I
Oh,
have retro games up the butt, dude. Like just systems and but
oh,
that's where I live. But you
oh
have
man,
okay,
yeah, I still have my original Nintendo that I got when I was 3 years old.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is your equity is no longer money because even if you're like you get knocked down, you figure out a way because you have the experience to like figure out that stuff, and it's not that as big of a deal as it would be if the shit crumbled at 20, you'd be a wreck. You know what I mean? But like at like 35, 36, 37, 38, you kind of like, well, shit, I'll just get another job, whatever. Like I got this. You know how to manage your money better, so a little bit more, a little money lasts better because you actually know how to manage it. At
Yeah.
least some of us. Oh, what happened there? Yeah, I love it. Mess it. Yeah, arm's gone. There it is. I love this. Your time is no longer your equity is no longer money. It's time. So you can afford all the things you always wanted, but you don't have time to mess with it. That's the irony of life, right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. You're so busy that yeah. I mean, there was seriously a while, especially when I was working, where my bike just sat in storage for a year and a half because I literally had no time or the energy when I would come back from work. You're out there 4 weeks at a time, and you come back and
With a
the
fistful of
first
cash,
yeah yeah
but you can't you can't spend on anything because you don't have time to do anything.
yeah. You look at your bank account, you're like, yes, I'm gonna take a nap.
Loaded, bro. At
Yeah.
least you eat good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I guess that's. I mean, and that is like I really have only a few things that I like to spend my money on, and kitchen shit is one of them. Like I really like having good, well, knives. I mean, you knew me growing up in a fishing family.
Oh,
I
I'm
was always looking.
I am all about knives, dude. Like good
Yeah.
kitchen knives. I have German knives. They're
Hmm.
fantastic. I have a handmade like chopping knife. I've got
Mm.
I'm into knives. I feel you there. Like good stuff, like good pans.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like cast iron, so I'm always cooking with cast iron. My new house has one of those glass top stoves. That shit's
Mm.
out of here, dude. Like I'm like, no way. I
No
cook with
gas.
way.
Get gas.
I don't have gas out there,
Oh.
but I can deal with the electric element burner. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I have to be able to cook with cast iron. Even like my wife is like, yeah, dude, we got to use the cast iron because it's just like I've got one really good cast iron pan. Because really, if you take care of it, that will last you your entire life.
I actually my cast iron skillet, my 12-inch skillet is my grandmother's. So that tells you how long it has lasted.
Yeah,
And
if
the
you take
other,
care of them, they last forever.
yeah, the other one I have is a steak skillet. I mean, it's barely got edges to it, only enough to keep the fat and the oil in it. And it's also probably 90 years old. But like you said, you keep them nice, and aside from having a nice, really, really nice barbecue. And even then, I would argue that I can make a better steak on a cast iron in my oven, than you can do on the grill because all I have to
Challenge
do is,
accepted.
oh man, I can cook a mean cast iron steak. It's real easy. You just sear it on one side. As soon as you flip it over, it goes into the oven 10 minutes. Boom, medium rare every time.
Challenge. Yeah, if you like that kind of garbage,
What? What?
medium rare. That's
Well,
garbage.
what are you a still mooing kind of guy?
Yeah, I burn it on one side, burn it on the other. Done. I get that. And I'm talking like that grill is hotter than the wages of sin when that thing hits it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I guess I should phrase my definition of medium rare is, well, I've always done the finger test is you're
You're making me
pinching
uncomfortable.
the meat. And you got rare, medium, and just throw it away.
Dating advice from David Booth. No, it's no, I get it, dude. I love steak. I love meat. I love cooking that kind of stuff. I can't really one of the fun things with my I don't really do a lot of red meat anymore because my acid reflux is actually weirdly enough, I had anxiety problems over COVID. And I don't have any like mental skeletons or anything lurking. And I get stressed out just like anyone else, but I have pretty good ways of managing it. Like not like a self-medicating kind of way, like just dealing with my problems and trying to take care of them. So I was just like, where the hell is this anxiety coming from? At one point, I thought I was having a heart attack. You know what it was? Acid reflux.
Mm.
And I found
You're sitting there going like, my chest
yeah, well,
hurts.
yeah, my chest
Babe,
hurts.
have some Tums. Oh.
And then your brain starts working on you, and your arm starts to hurt. And if you're anybody over the age of 30 and your right arm or your left arm starts hurting, it's disconcerting, right? So,
yeah.
But I just figured that out. Now I take a Pepcid AC every day, and I'm like, I'm good to go. No anxiety. It went away completely, entirely.
Oh, perfect.
I was talking to my second cousin about it. It's where I figured out dead on what it was. I was talking to my second cousin about it. He's like, yeah, dude, that happened to me when I was about your age. And I was like, what? And he's just like, yeah, but I had to go to the hospital to figure that out. Like an ambulance came and picked me up because we thought I was having a heart attack. And I got to the hospital and it was like, yeah, you just have acid reflux, man. Well, I'm like, thank you for helping me dodge that bullet. I appreciate it. I really, really do. So in the age of COVID, we're both kind of, I've kind of figured out what I'm doing, but you're trying to do something that would allow you. I'm gonna like guess here that you're trying to find something that will allow you to have the free time to do the things that you love, which is exactly what my goal, like in-game goal was, which is what I do. I have lots of time to do what I want. My job is busy, but when I'm working hard.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm not working, I'm playing hard because that's important too. I have hobbies. I do a lot of music stuff. I love that very much. It's like a passion. I like to build things, and that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to at this new house is I'm gonna have a wood shop in there.
Oh,
I'm actually gonna be
nice.
able to build stuff. I work with a guitar effects pedal builder, and we come up with crazy ideas, and then we make them reality, which is amazing. But that's that. I think that's important, dude. That you make the time, even though the time is equity and you don't have as much of it. You got to make time to do the things you love. So that's my advice to all you listeners out there right now is like always make time to do the things you love because life's short, so you got to you get as many jabs in as you can.
I mean, I think it's funny how you're excited about having a wood shop. I guess say my goal is, as he said, is finding the new path that gives me my free time. And so my ideal shop is got CNC 3D printers, and that way I can finally put the stuff that I design in SolidWorks and stuff into reality. All the
You're talking to a guy that owns a 3D printer, so
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking one of the ones that actually uses engineering grade materials.
I use it to print D&D figures to make my own.
Yeah, no,
I can do one about yay big. I mean, it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can do a lot with very affordable 3D printers. They're especially in the last couple of years, the average 3D printers tech has really gotten better. But there's some certain ones out there that I kind of have a nerdgasm over them. When for me, it's like watching high tech porn.
Well, when I was growing up, the company that my family ran, ISCO,
Hmm.
That's essentially what they had there was this a machine shop, like an instrumentation machine shop. Like all
Hmm.
some of the better like instrumentalists in the oil field came out of that shop. I actually went to school to be an instrumentalist, and like yeah, so like I have a petroleum technologies degree. For what it's worth, it garnered me nothing other than I figured out real fast that I did not like slope work.
Hmm.
And I was like, no, I was like, you know what, F this. I am like, money or no money, I'm not gonna, it's not worth it. I want to be able to be creative and do this stuff, and I don't want to just get fat on the oil field on the slope because they feed you like crazy and there's nothing else to do but eat. So I do.
Yeah, and so that's kind of been a lot of why I've been just taking the random jobs and everything that I have is just there's stuff that I don't have to think, but it's not serious. It's not like the slope because I've been trying to get myself out of that mentality and get back to my more creative side because when you're just focused in on that industry or any industry for this matter, if you're just that committed to trying to focus on your job, then you kind of lose track of what actually makes you unique. You
That's
don't get to be
fair.
yourself.
Yeah, no, yeah, you get laser focused, and then you like all that creative time gets sapped because when you're not working, you just kind of want to rest. You know,
Yeah.
like, it happened to me when I worked a masonry job. Was that it was so busy and I was so tired. I mean, I was in the best shape of my life, ripped, just crazy ripped. But like, I was just, you know, it was really affecting my personal life because I was just so sore all the time and tired. And
Hmm.
but weirdly enough, I still found time to do like playing band and do stuff like that. But it's really tough. Like after I get off work at 5, get home about 5:30. I would take a bath to loosen up for like an hour, like the hottest I could stand with like a bunch of Epsom salt. And then I would
Just a
get
good
out,
old soak.
yeah, just to try to loosen up. And then I like to take a shower to wash I would take a shower first, obviously, to wash everything off of me because I was covered in crap. And then I would by 7, I would be at the jam space to like practice. But it was brutal. It
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
oh, not to mention I was eating 6,500 calories a day just to maintain like
As soon
a
as you stop,
basic weight.
yeah, and then as soon as you get out of that and you're still eating that 65 calories, then you're just like,
Mm,
the
no,
scales have tipped.
I gave it up. No, it was actually misery to eat that much.
Uh, well, that's good then.
I did get fat over COVID. I gained COVID, like COVID 30,
Yeah.
and then I promptly lost it, and now I'm just kind of on the steady decline of weight. But it's just because I'm so busy, like creatively, like in a good way. Like I'm like, you know, if I'm not doing the nonprofit stuff, which is actually some of it can be tedious, but a lot of it's very enjoyable.
And I really share that same thing for you, especially with how I got brought up and everything. I've always been inclined to do a job where I know that I'm helping other people. Doesn't
Yeah,
need a thank you, doesn't need
yeah, I
recognition,
don't need any of that.
you know.
Give more than you
And
take. You know what I mean?
it's always better to be that way. I mean, hell, the way the way I've always been brought up is the same way we were all brought up is try to leave the world a little bit better for having you in it.
Yeah, you know, give more than you take,
Yeah.
unless it's taxes.
Yeah, then take everything.
No, don't. Do you? Oh God, you're one of those.
Well,
You like? Are
I
you?
want them to give me back as much. I want to get back as much money as possible. I want to
Oh,
give to them
okay,
as little.
okay. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten money back in years.
Uh,
The tax time comes, I'm the one writing the check. I'm not getting the check.
uh,
Um, it's the nature of the beast.
yeah.
It's just like I always strive to just try and do fun, creative things. Like, what would you say? What is your number one go-to jam to like have some fun and get a little youthful exuberance in your life?
Oh,
that's my
geez, this is
that's my radio face.
okay. We're going real. I mean, if we're going just real youthful fun, it's hopping on my motorcycle. Like when I get up,
Rebellion, got it. Wind through your
yeah.
hair, rebellion. I like
Oh,
that.
when I get up in the morning, doesn't matter how tired I am, drink my cup of coffee. If I'm in a pissed off mood or whatever, I hop on that motorcycle. I drive off to work. I am in a great mood by the time I hit work, and
Nice.
then work all day. Work my ass off, do whatever I need to do, take care of everything, and then at the end of the day, hop on back on the motorcycle, hit the road for like half hour to an hour, and by the time I get home, I'm happy. I'm ready to make some dinner.
You're ready for sex.
So, yeah, I'm ready to get down.
Gross.
But a lot of yeah. No, I mean it's gonna sound real nerdy, but also another one of the things I really do like doing is looking into newest astronomical finds.
That's your
New
jam. I can
Yeah.
remember once at one point you told me that your life goal was to be like the first man to like mine an asteroid.
Yep. That still haven't gave that one up.
You're a bit
But
tall to be an astronaut.
hey, they custom make the suit so I can still make it.
You can't tell from the video, but David is quite tall.
Tall enough to where I usually bump my head into stuff.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Since we're from the same place, essentially, for all intensive purposes, do you feel moving down here in your adulthood that people are just smaller here? Because I really feel like, okay, so let's wind it back a minute. In our group of friends that we kind of hung out with in our heyday adolescence, I would not be considered a big fellow. Not small, but not big either. You know, I'm tall. I've always been kind of a little beefy. You know, no matter when you caught me, even in high school, you know, I didn't get messed with in high school because I was like kind of like imposing. But I had broad shoulders and a barrel chest, and I was mean. If you were mean, I was happy if you were happy. But I'm not considered a big fellow. You know what I mean? Because there's like you stood above me. Rocky Sean certainly stood above me. Josh was taller than me. All of our friends. Even Cody's taller than me, I think. Sort of, almost, maybe just a little bit. But like here, I just feel like a giant. Like, and like, I have friends like you, and I have a couple of people I know that are like really tall, but they're like really, really tall. But I really feel like a fucking giant. Dude, just like all these people are like super small. Do they just grow them smaller down here?
I kind of have a little bit difference because, very southern edge of Oregon where my family's at, it's fishing and lumberjacks is pretty much the two main things that you'll find around here.
Okay, let me rephrase. City folk.
Oh God, yeah, they're tiny. It's like Oompa Loompa town.
It's just strange. It's just an observation coming from a rough-necky kind of place where there's a lot of manual labor and protein, and like we're all.
Hey, I might have my COVID weight and not be in the same shape I was 15 years ago, but I don't have to worry about walking down a dark street.
Yeah, me neither. Like I have that manner that I've seen some things and done some things. Like, it's like I look like more trouble than I'm worth. If you really just want to boil it down to that, I'm not a tough guy.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more trouble with. And the fact is, I am.
Yeah.
You know how determined I am when I get like lining in on something. Like I'm like, I can't be stopped. It's just my nature. I don't know any other way. But so like riding your motorcycle is your kind of release. What have you? We kind of talked a little bit about it, but I've heard whispers of a twitch of a channel.
Yes, I got that.
A gaming channel.
Yes, I have been doing that. I've been slacking off on it a lot as of late.
It's all about diligence, dude.
I know.
That's the key.
I know. I have really been slacking off on it, but I am.
You have a Twitch channel. I will hop on there, dude. Like that'd be awesome.
No, it's
I got a PS4. We could play some shit.
I actually do got one too that's kicking down. The funny thing is I only have like 2 games for my PS4 because mostly it's all been Xbox. I mean, it's been Xbox for me since the first brick came out, and me and my buddies got together playing Halo.
It's tomato. I mean, there's Xbox people, there's PlayStation people.
Word, Thuggalicious bitches, Thuggalicious bitches, Thuggalicious bitches, Thuggalicious swag, Thuggalicious bitches, Thuggalicious bitches, Thuggalicious bitches, Thuggalicious swag.
On the day I was born, wind your ass up in a dish.
Thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious swag, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious swag.
You finally getting your ass out of here? Good. Got something to say, you bitch.
Yo, I'm floating and knock on your back, yo, ho, you know, yo, you come to the floor, just begging for more. I be coming so fast, so long, so strong, throwing bells like a Donkey Kong. I hear you screaming, ho, you finally leave and go. But you think you're deceiving me, you think you're kidding me, you be coming back, baby, for show. Why bitch be thinking they own ya, be getting your ass to the corner. Don't care if you're dying of pneumonia, always remember the fact that I own ya. Think you know what you think you know, and I think I know what you think you know. Now put it straight, you a nasty hoe, quite frankly, bitch, it's time to go.
Thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious swag, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious
When the
swag.
hoes they see us coming, they be holla, holla, holla. When the crew they see us coming, they be balla, balla, balla. When the shorty see us coming, best be pumping those brakes, ho. Breaking off a piece of that nasty ass freak show. Drop the cheeks, breaking off all those nasty freaks. A little bit of flirty hide and seek. I'll eat your ass for an entire week, and I'll throw you up on the kitchen sink, and I'll hit that shit till it begins to stink. Well, now you better give me all that cheddar. So many hoes and so little clothes. Gonna share them bitches with all my bros. Gonna kick out these disgusting flows. Gonna snort my riches right up my nose. So that's where all your money goes? I snort that shit through a fire hose, and when that shit begins to pop, we're gonna stop.
Thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious swag, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious swag, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious swag, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious bitches, thuggalicious swag.
Shitty piss, pimple pops, seeping slowly, pimply past the pastures, 'cause pussy pops.
I mean, there's not really a wrong answer here. It's all fun.
See, I like to be all encompassing, and PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. I mean, I figure that way I don't get left out of the party.
I am so like behind the times on PC gaming. There was a time I built like a mega PC, and I used to game all the time on it. There was a time. I'm so like out of touch. Like I wouldn't even know what I'm looking at.
Oh, the sad thing is I'm really in touch with building a new PC, but literally have my hands cuffed right now because all the price gouging, because everybody's buying up every part they can to make Bitcoin harvesters.
Bitcoin's lucrative.
That is true.
Yeah, I put some money in Bitcoin.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally build something that just sits there in the corner of your room and making you money.
Yeah, I'm not in mining it. I definitely invest in Bitcoin. In fact, that's how I culminate savings. And I always feed it with every paycheck a little bit. And the thing is, it's like a friend of mine got me into Bitcoin. He's super good at it. He's been doing it since he's 14, and he just turned 40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was like early. I think he got into it early. So he knows, but he's just like, he told me what it is. He's like, I've made a ton of money doing Bitcoin, but the trick is it's the long game. It's not the short game, because that's just gonna go woo. But it does this, and and it might dump, but it's just gonna come right back up again.
Oh, you're gonna love this. So I was looking at a old tournament from stuff that didn't age well, and it was an old StarCraft 2 tournament, and the first prize winner was like $600, and then it went down to like fourth and fifth place winners was 25 Bitcoin back in 2008.
Oh Jesus, that's like $1 million almost.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking,
I gotta find out. Like, I'm gonna find out how much that is, and this is gonna be a guess. I would say 25. That's it's $1.5 million.
Now, that's only if they actually have their password still.
That's fair, but I have backup scenarios, so I will never forget a password, or if I do, there's a backup somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
I do now. I am super into computer stuff, but my stuff is about production gear. So I'm definitely like a Mac guy. Um, but it's a super Mac, and I've got like a super Mac laptop because create. I create video, I do editing, and this stuff requires excessive amounts of memory, excessive amounts of processing power. And for me, a PC is too sluggish to do so because there's so many background operations that are happening that are sapping. Now, I know there's ways to optimize it and stuff, but you can get a Mac out of the box and make a video, like no improvements, nothing, just like plug it in and go. And for me,
and there's one thing for a lot, even some of the top like content creators that I see, if you get a view of their room, they've got like when they're recording or making their content, or not making the content, but like, recording it. And then you see behind them, there's a Mac station, because like you said, it doesn't have the background junk going on that's sapping away. I mean, you could look on paper and they're spec the same way, almost identical.
It's the operating system. It's what if you want to boil it down to the very core, 9 times out of 10, like stuff. I mean, now if you're doing like Linux or something, that's a whole nother jam. But like if you're doing like Windows, that thing is a beast. It is a memory hungry beast, where stuff like, Big Sur or whatever, for Mac is not. It's a simple, very simple program. It's the reason you don't really see stuff like viruses on Macintoshes either, because there's nothing for them to, there's no fat for them to dig into. It's just for production stuff. I do it. I don't do a lot of gaming online. I just do mainly production stuff, like creating videos, creating music a lot, graphics, animation. I mean, it's the sky's the limit. We're starting a puppet show, dude, for real, like a Pee-wee's Playhouse. And then mix it in with like a real life variety show of various other things for a new channel that I'm launching called Pedal Board, but board is spelled Bored. It's for the aging, jaded pedal junkie.
You're gonna have to let me know when that comes out.
It's for the aging, jaded pedal junkie searching for his next fix. Because that's me, for real. I just always I need it weirder. I need it crazier. A good friend of mine who's doing this with me too, his name is Brandon Schock. He's a brilliant sound madman. He's a wizard, and he builds these amazing pedals, and every aspect of them is absolutely stunning. Like I have one here called the Ocean Man.
I like the design on it.
And everything is tip top. It is wired with the best stuff. It sounds amazing. It is versatile. This one's number 2, because he's a buddy of mine. And then the cool thing is he'll come up with an idea and he'll give me the prototype, because I love me a prototype. So like guitar pedals are definitely like sound toys for a person that plays it. So that's kind of like something I've been super into most of my life. You knew this though. I mean, if you know me for like 5 minutes, I'd start going off about some guitar crap. Even if you don't care, I was like, I don't care. I love to hear myself talk. So it's like, I don't care if you care.
Hey, nothing will actually draw people into your passion by other than showing the passion. If you just be like, yeah, I like guitars, they're cool, nobody's gonna care. But if you're like, dude, love guitars,
hardcore. There's one of the cool things that I'm doing is there's this, I really love synthesizers too, because I grew up listening. Now let me just ask you a question before I tell you the story. When you were a kid, was there a particular movie or something or a game that the soundtrack was just banging?
Early on,
because there's a couple for me for sure I could name real quick, but for you, like a game you played, this could be NES, this could be all the way up to current, like when you were young, let's say NES to N64, that you like just hit you. You're like, man, that sounds awesome. This game is rad, and it's better because of this music.
From the NES, my drawings from that are a little bit light. I can't really say a lot. I mean, okay, can we include PC games that were
Yeah,
released
yeah,
for that?
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
then Doom.
Doom's good. For me, it was Quake 2. Quake
Oh,
2
well,
really
yeah,
grabbed me, you know.
that's a good one.
If you didn't notice in that video that I sent you, I played the Quake 2, a riff from
Yeah.
Quake 2. Ninja Gaiden. That soundtrack
Oh,
is
yes.
banging, dude. Mega Man 2. I can play all of those. Like I can play them on guitar.
I can't believe I blanked out on that. I actually, okay, and here's the funny thing. I have the Nintendo Power from back then that had Mega Man 2 on the cover.
Oh, Mega Man 2 is one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
But you know, if we okay, for me though, when I was growing up, one of the things that was the favorite childhood memories is my dad's very much into movies.
Mm-hmm.
He would be what the intellectuals would call a cinemaphile.
Yeah.
But we would watch movies on the weekend and it was cool. And it's the reason I miss things like Blockbuster or Video Store is the ritual of going in and picking out your movie. So we'd go in and we pick out a couple movies and we watch them over the course of the weekend. But there was a particular movie maker who struck me so hard with his music that his name is John Carpenter, and he did like Halloween, Escape from New York, Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, Ghosts of Mars, The Fog, you know, just all these classic tropey 80s and 90s horror movies, Escape from LA. But
that movie was great. I actually thought I liked it more than the first one because it just went even more bombastic.
Oh, John Carpenter's Vampires is really good too. But the music and the thing was, it's all like drum machine and synthesizer and like a guitar. But he did that because when he started, like when he was doing like Assault on Precinct 13 and like Dark Star and all this other stuff, he couldn't afford an orchestra. So he's just like, the synthesizer sounds really big. So I can just take the synthesizer, we'll add like a drum machine and a guitar, and I can make these really big sounding things. And yeah, it just moved me. I always loved the music. And so I got really into making John Carpenter music and just listening to it. He puts out albums, like he tours as a musician now, which is stupid cool. But I'm doing a video for a synthesizer pedal because I have a bunch of synthesizers that I really love, but I like to blend guitar and synth. So this is the Boss SY1. It's a synthesizer pedal. So I'm doing a review video for that for Pedal Boards of Doom, but it's more of a love note to John Carpenter because every single thing I've made for it, I made 4 tracks for it. They all sound like John Carpenter songs, just like a very derivative John Carpenter. I'm going to send it to him. I found a line to him and I'm going to be like, dude, I did this for you. You don't have to do anything. Just thanks. Like, dude, your albums rock.
Yeah. You're going to fanboy hard. You're going to fanboy.
Oh yeah.
Hard.
Like one of the songs, the tracks is called John Carpenter's My Spirit Animal. Another one's called John Carpenter. Why don't you call me? Why don't you call me back? John Carpenter, I want to have your babies.
I think we might be going beyond fanboy now.
I'm super into John Carpenter. That man is brilliant. He's just brilliant. You know, when you encounter that kind of brilliance, you got to lean into it and rest your head on his shoulder and nuzzle in. You know what I mean? I love John Carpenter.
Yeah, for as far as music and the tracks, it's a little harder for me because they got made before I was even born, but I still got brought up on, you know, like the Alien and Predator movies, so a lot of the
great soundscapes.
Yeah.
I would say they were more of soundscapes on those movies, which is another really great way to soundtrack a movie. I've seen several movies where the soundtrack was definitely more, I mean, yeah, there were some like string swells and stuff, but like it was just more soundscape.
Yeah, and it was more nuanced, and if you were, and that's why I have a hard time thinking about it, because if I'm pressed to like think of, who their sound director was, I'm like, I can't tell you, but I do know that in the original Alien, most of the time I was just on the edge of my seat, like clenching my butt cheeks, because they were so effective at just building that soundscape to where you're
It builds
terrified.
tension.
Yeah.
It builds tension. It's great. Are you familiar with a dude named Peter Cullen?
It sounds familiar, but I'm
Peter
gonna say
Cullen is the voice of Optimus Prime.
no.
He also was the voice of Predator.
Yeah.
And he did all the sounds with his voice. I saw him at a Comic-Con once, and he did like all these crazy noises with his voice, but he has a very deep voice, like I am Optimus Prime. Like this is great. But Peter Cullen, he's an amazing dude who does all that stuff. No, there's a couple cool like, did you ever watch the movie? It came out, I want to say like 2014, 15. The girl from Queen's Gambit, she was in it. And she was like in New Mutants and stuff, but it's called The Witch. It was in black and white, and the whole soundtrack was done with a made-up instrument called apprehension engine. And it doesn't really play anything chromatic or musical. It just makes creepy ass noises. That's all that it was. It's like a hurdy-gurdy wheels. It's like these creaking sounds, and you have like this this little balance beam for like a clock, and you just pick it up and it slap the wood and be like, and just like, and there was like echo, and he had like a violin bow and these spring coils from like a hood on a car, and he'd scrape it across them, and they just make these horrible sounds. But man, that soundtrack was so stupid creepy, and there ain't a musical note in it. It's just like crazy ambient. It's like a theremin, just crazy ambient sounds.
Yeah, you sit there, you listen to it, and you're just like, what kind of place did you go to in your mind to come up with this thing?
Well, now, like for me, I've always been a Doom fan. Yeah, from the beginning, right? I love Doom. But man, the last two Doom games have really knocked it out of the park, man. Just like for the fences, they're calling their shots. They're Babe Ruth. You know what I mean? They're just knocking them out of the park.
Yeah.
So I played Doom when that came out a couple years ago, and the soundtrack was banging. The game was banging. One complaint: I had to get the glasses, the blue screen glasses, because the reds were so intense in that game that it actually made my eyes water after about 15 minutes. So I had to get the blue screen glasses that kind of dumb it down a little bit. Obviously, they fixed that problem in Doom Eternal, which is
fantastic.
I don't even know what to do. Like, it was so good. I play it all the time. Like, I don't really play video games, but that game, man, that game's badass.
Yeah, we were talking before we started, in as far as I have my motorcycle to unwind when I'm coming away from work, but if I'm still like stressed out about something,
you can work shit out on that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is my therapy session. I go into that game, and even from the first time I played it, got into the first scrap, and the music kicked in, I was just like,
yeah, you're in. Like, all right, let's do this. Like, the guy that did the soundtrack for that game is a dude named Mick Gordon, who's a beast. Oh my god, that guy's so cool. He plays such cool music. Very good guitar player, and he actually got the guys from a prog band called, like, he got the drummer from Periphery. Like, it's this insane band, like top shelf guys. Like, and he went and did that. But Doom Eternal's great. I actually played another game. Like, well, I was really into some of the more story-based games, like Resident Evil, and things like that. Like when you remember Myst?
Yes,
I was stupid into Myst.
Yeah, and that was also one that really made you think too.
Yeah, I like puzzles. I really love puzzles. Like, I'm one of those dudes that can solve a Rubik's Cube in about a minute.
Yeah,
just because I love puzzles. It has nothing to do with like brain capacity with a Rubik's Cube. It's all about patterns and pattern recognition. So you're just like, I just get in the pattern. I'm like, oh, and then all of a sudden it just, I kind of like see. It's like when I play chess, I just kind of I can get into the zone, and I can just kind of see what's coming and see like the future. or at least the probabilities lay themselves out upon the board. And then it's just you're rolling the dice at that point, but it's like, I love it. I love puzzles. I played a game recently that was kind of like hit me on a lot of levels. It was called The Call of Cthulhu, and it's really good. It's terrifying, and there's puzzles. It's kind of hit me on a lot of levels, and I absolutely. So I still have not finished it because I can't take too much of that. Like, the tension of that game is insane.
Oh, that's like the first time when I was doing my very first playthrough of Alien Isolation, I literally had to stop after an hour or so every time because I was sitting there like, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack. I've got to go walk away. I've got to walk away.
Yeah, but I'll pop in. I'm feeling it. I'll pop in. That game is great. I'm a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan though, so it's like, it's just it hits me on a lot of levels, and I love games. So I guess I do game a little bit. I guess I was wrong. I just don't do it a lot.
It's all about what's your jam when it comes to video games.
Carly's was digging into Wolfenstein for a while, man. She was rocking the crap out of Wolfenstein, which is amazing. Like the newer Wolfenstein games are stunning.
Yes. Those were very well done. I was trying to look up. There's one that I've been meaning to play. I think it came out recently. It was in early access for a while, but it's right up my alley. Especially, it's called Moons of Madness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's a straight up Lovecraftian horror game where you're
absolutely.
But it's mixed with sci-fi because you're on another planet.
Well, that H.P. Lovecraft stuff happens on other planets.
Yeah, I know, but since I kind of get my rocks off to anything space. I mean, my favorite, always going to be in my top 3 favorite series or games of all time is Mass Effect.
Oh, Mass Effect's great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Unreal Tournament. I know it's not like Mass Effect, but that was a cool game. Battle on space platforms and low gravity. That's what's up.
I played a lot of that in college, or I should say in undergraduate.
I have it on my N64. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
I just got some new N64 controllers.
I guess I sound a little. Ooh, good find.
Yeah, no, they're not the old ones. They actually, Hyperkin came out with some N64 controllers. And what they did was they took that stupid joystick out and they put the joystick from the GameCube in there. Ooh, it's 1,000% better. It's just so much better, so much more control. It's less janky. It'll last a lot longer. They've got some wireless controllers for that too, but I like the cable, dude. I'm like old school. I want to crawl in close.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna game old school, then game old school.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm getting an old tube TV. It's gonna get real, dog. The PlayStation's for downstairs in the big TV. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
this is for the little TV. I'm thinking about getting some beanbag chairs and really just taking it up a notch.
Well, especially if you're using that old stuff. Oh god, beanbag chairs. If you're gonna
the best,
old school, they are too because they conform to you. They're the original memory foam seats.
They're perfect, dude. It's the perfect playing position. You're super comfy, and you don't get like fatigue or anything, and you just chill and rock the crap out of some video games, dude. Yeah, I play games like Dragon Warrior and like Zelda and stuff. So I mean, a lot of these games are like intensive, like wandering the earth or the realm and finding your shit. Because I haven't been able to get my D&D fix since I've moved here because it's hard to find a group to play with.
Yep. Actually, speaking of which, last time I talked to Stonewall, where I brought up the idea of doing meeting room D&D.
Oh, like a Zoom D&D?
Exactly. I mean,
you talk to the death of fun about a Zoom D&D?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the same, but then again, it's another reason to get all of our buddies together. And
I'm keen. I'm actually pretty keen on that. I'm starting a D&D group there, although I'm just going to DM it.
Oh, nice.
Well, no one would let me in the group, dude. Like all the DMs are a bunch of D-bags down here, dude. Like they're just like, that's why you're not part of I'm too cool to be in the D&D group because I'm not. They don't realize I'm more nerdy, 10 times more nerdy than they are. I just have this cold, composed exterior, and I'm confident. I've got confidence, so it's like I'm cool with me being a weirdo.
Mhm.
It doesn't phase me. I can still be cool. I can still hang out with the rock guys, at the bar and the bikers and all that stuff, and they don't, but I'm also unapologetic about my nerddom too. Like it's like, well, I'm a nerd that can, bust your teeth out, so you might want to watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love unicorns and pixie dust and sparkles. What of it?
Come on, look at your background.
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff. And if you don't like it, well, you know what? You better count your teeth.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay, so I gotta go. One more thing on gaming I loved because
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
You remember the secret level for Diablo 2, the cow level, right?
Yeah.
So everybody expected him to do something, and finally, I can't remember if it came out in an update or something like that. But the Blizzard was like, "Fine, you want a secret level? We're giving you the magical lollipop land of murderous teddy bears." And
Yeah.
so it
Teddy bears,
literally
those are the thing.
yeah,
Those are rough levels. What that was.
yeah. So like every time you kill someone, little rainbows come out of them and stuff like that.
It's
It
like
was
playing Doom on Hurt Me Plenty.
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, God, yeah. I finished that. I finished that Eternal on Ultra Violence, and that was an achievement to myself.
Yeah, I did as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was I can describe it in 2 words. Ammo. I know 3 words. 4
I
words.
need ammo.
Ammo and health shortage is what I'm gonna call it, dude. There's a supreme ammo shortage. Like the harder you do the levels, because I beat it the first time on just like the easy level, because I just wanted to go through it and just check the game out and enjoy it. And then like after I beat it that, I'm like, don't hurt me, daddy, or whatever. Like after that, it's like, okay, now it's time to get real. So ultra violence, and it was just like, oh my good lord.
Yeah, critical resource management. There's your 3 words.
It's all resource management for real, dude. Like you better make those shots count.
Yes.
You're not gonna have enough. That's just the rule. You're not gonna have enough. You gotta really know like how to like run through and like like do like the epic kills and stuff, so you can get more ammo or more health from like just killing somebody in a specific way, or killing them by hand, or when you get your cues to like do the cool finishers. You got to do those, because it's not just about being cool. It's about like you're gonna get some health out of that, or you're gonna get some ammo out of that, or shield. You're gonna get some shield out of that, because on ultraviolet mode you pretty much just don't plan on having a shield. No. Like it's gone. You get like hit once, it's gone. It's like just disappeared, if you couldn't even find it.
I got a shield and
it's gone. That was neat.
Yeah.
But I love, oh my god, the Doom games are so cool. I have a Doom on Super Nintendo, which is essentially like the original Doom. That was on PC.
Yeah.
Doom 64, stunningly good. I really liked it. I think Doom 64 is still probably my favorite too. Man, it was just so over the top, so ahead of its time. I really like the Duke Nukem games too, and I got those too. Duke Nukem was kind of a Doom derivative.
Yes, it was.
Did they come first? I know Doom came first.
No, Doom came first. Then I want to say,
I know like Quake was like Quake's
Wolfenstein.
I wonder what came first, Doom or Wolfenstein. I think Wolfenstein came before Doom, dude.
It might have actually.
Yeah, I think it did. I think Wolfenstein was first, and then Doom, and then it was just off to the races.
Yeah, right now I'm resisting the urge to Google it, because that's what I'm. And that's okay. And there's another thing about getting older and trying to still be a man-child at heart, is that when we got together, it was all talking back and forth, like how we're doing. Like I think this one had first, or maybe this one went first. You disagree, and you start to get things, and then bring that to the bars where you would sit around bullshitting. And now, since everybody's got a smart computer in their palm of their hands, you start the conversation, the argument starts, and it's like, oh nope, Google says this. So I mean, everybody kind of likes to forget that the Guinness Book of World Records was actually originally started to put an end to bar arguments, because that's what it was started as, is to have facts.
Yeah,
for bar talk.
Oh, I think you're right, bro.
It's a tough call with
Nope.
them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care
Yeah.
anymore. I gave I was just curious, and curiosity killed the cat.
Oh yes.
So in your man-childing quest, what do you aspire to do? I know what I aspire to do. Have all the free time to do the creative things that I want to do. And do epic creative things.
Yes. I want to have all of the toys that I envisioned growing up.
I'm doing that. I'm
yes.
literally doing it right now. I'm like, I gathered like all the guitars that I sold that I wish I never had. I've gathered those back up. I buy action. I have an action figure collection. I have a comic book collection still. I have never got rid of my comic book collection. Still have all of that. But I buy action figures. I'm buying Legos right now, like all the Lego ships I wanted when I was a kid, but I couldn't get. I have two new Lego projects that I'm getting ready to conquer. The first one is the Razor Crest, the Mandalorian ship. And then I have one of the big Millennium Falcons. I got to work up to that though. That's like crazy.
That's going to be a project.
Yeah, but I'm going to hang it from the ceiling of my game room, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really looking forward to being able to do D&D again though. Even though I'm going to have to be the DM, I'll still, I'll still be a player, but it'll just be like a healer or maybe like a spellcaster of some kind of low nature that just kind of like hangs in the back, healed. Haha.
Someone that can step in as a support role when it's like, okay, the party is completely gone
they're off the rails,
Yes. I'm gonna stare intently at this wall for secrets, and your character's like, there's a door.
Yeah, the door cometh before thee. Ha ha ha. Quit being a dick. Figure it out.
Now the question is, are you going to be hardcore about it? And if their characters die, make them burn their sheet?
No, I'm not the death of fun.
Oh,
No. I like to have a fun game. I've played too many games with too many DMs. Now we are playing a hybrid game for all you tabletop gamers out there. It's going to kind of be similar to what our good buddy Jack would do, where it was very much a cross between Pathfinder and like 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons. But I'm doing it. I have the entire book set for the Lovecraftian role-playing game as well. I'm going to infuse elements of those three all together in one. I'm just going to make my own player's manual. I'm going to make my own dungeon master's manual. And then I'm going to create my own monsters with a 3D printer. It's not a major 3D printer, but it's a Dremel one. It actually works pretty good. I'm going to design and create my own figurines. And I've already started kind of doing that. I've already started writing all this stuff up because I just want it to be fun. I want supreme fun. And I've got a good group of dudes. I basically poached a bunch of dudes that were just tired of their DMs. They're like, my DM's a jerk. And I want to just have a good time. But also have a lot of intrigue. Because you've played games. I believe you've been there when I've DM'd and I've written like the entire thing. And I bring like a castle that I built and set it on the table, and it's like all this stuff and all these twists and turns and characters and stuff, and like goals and lots of backstory. So I like DMing, and I'm pretty good at it. So I'm gonna just roll with it and have a good time with some friends.
Yeah, well,
cool.
It doesn't have to be strict. It should never be really strict. I mean, it's more about the sense of adventure that you get from it. It's a cross between.
There's got to be some peril.
Yes.
Otherwise, the adventure is kind of. So yeah, people can die because there has to be that risk. So occasionally someone's going to die, but it's to enhance the scenario. It's to enhance the experience. Because without that sense of like danger, people aren't going to get as invested in it. So occasionally I will kill somebody. Occasionally. But it's not going to be because they like piss me off or anything like that. It's going to be to further the experience for everyone.
Yeah.
And then they can just start a new character. Or if I get the sense that someone's maybe getting bored with their character.
Good time for them to
die.
Good
Time to kill them off. And then they can start fresh with somebody better.
Yeah, and plus too, especially if like you have a character that dies in the epic confrontation with the final monster at
Hero
the end.
status, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. Then you come back when everybody's leveled up, you let them build that new character at that new level. So it's not like they're falling behind their friends. They're just coming
You
back
get to
as a
change it
new
up.
person. Yeah.
You just get to change it up. That's how you do it. So when you DMs out there that are jerks, listen up. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, I mean, and I liked it when we actually started doing. I think it was like every other week we would rotate because you would DM sometimes, and I even DM'd a few times, and that
Yeah,
was
well, it's just to keep it fresh. That's what it's like. Ideally, what I would like to do. But our group was definitely unusual in that regard. The fact that we
Mhm.
had enough people capable of DMing and would invest in it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't you. You didn't show up like you didn't like when you DM'd. You didn't show up and half-ass it.
Yeah,
You know, you were.
I still have my box of Pathfinder and 3.5 hidden somewhere.
I've got that same book with my character sheets in it and my same little ceramic leprechaun figurine that I always use. I have all of that stuff still. I still use the same binder for my character sheets. I have my bag of dice. You know, remember I used to carry it in a microphone bag?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still got all that.
Yeah, I still have my dice bag, all that stuff.
It's gonna be wild though. I'm really looking forward to it because I'll have like a cool space to do it in, and I'm gonna have like specialty lighting for it. It's gonna be good. Like I'm gonna do like candles and like just really and have music. I'm gonna cue music for because it's gonna be in my jam room, obviously. With a setup table. And I'm gonna cue music and like have it, queued up so I can like have Bluetooth speakers so I can really just really sink people into the experience, sink them deep, like when you're fishing and you set that hook, dude. I'm gonna be setting that hook hard, like just to get them really into the experience and you don't live that far away. You could potentially come up and do some games too, you know what I mean, at some point.
Well, it is funny. You're just about at the top of Oregon, and I am right at the very bottom of Oregon.
I got a spare bedroom, dude. Like I said, it'd be nice to actually have somebody there that was like from, that's fun to D&D with. So yeah, I'm a big D&D nerd in case the listenership.
That's all gonna happen after you get in your new place.
Yeah, but that happens in like a few days or like 2 weeks ish. I'll start getting in there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not that long, dude. And I'm gonna start D&D in right away. I don't care if it says put together at that point. I just want to get it going. I got a couple of dudes that I'm gonna invite out to do it that I know are good, that are into it. There's one guy named the Anaker brothers. They're both super into D&D. They're really they'd be super fun and they're very interactive and stuff. And then I have a couple friends that I think would be good. I have a couple people that are not going to be there. Some guys are like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to play D&D." I'm like, "Dude, you're an asshole. I don't want to hang out with you," because I don't have time for bullshit in my life anymore. Because I'm old and I'm jaded, and I want what I want. But anyways, we're kind of running a little long here, so I'm gonna cap it off with all that fun stuff. But I want to thank David Afro Booth for joining me. Definitely going to have David back on because he's a fun guest. He's an intellectual guest, so it's fun to kind of talk intellectually about nerd crap. Is there anything you would like to tell the listenership before we go off into that great unknown?
Let's see here. Well, you talked about my streaming.
Too late. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, honestly, I could have spent a whole lot more time talking about the science behind the nerd stuff, but
next time.
No, I was actually talking with you. I got to get my channel restarted, relaunched.
Please do. I will check that out. I'll get a Twitch just to check that out.
Yeah, it's Ninja Zeus.
I love it. That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing that and probably trying to actually start trying to put stuff on YouTube as well. Actually do the proper content creation.
Well, if you need help, let me know. I'm very good at this.
Oh, I'm going to be talking to you about it.
Good, because I helps.
I always need helps.
Well, anyways, thank you, David, for joining me. Thank you for listening. And you'd like to head over to them Facebook and Instagrams to Lowell-George Granath, or go to lowellgeorgegranath.com. It's actually, I built a website and it sucked. And like, subscribe, all that garbage. Just remember, most importantly, be fantastic always, and we will see you later.
It's like a hurricane. It happens in Florida. It gets into everything. And love, it's like a mama said. Sometimes it's small and cute, but sometimes it eats its young. And love, it's like a monster truck. It fills up whole stadium, but it crushes smaller trucks. And love, it's like a trailer court, ugly but functional. The rent is cheap enough. And love, it's like an interstate, gets you from place to place. But it's littered with dead raccoons. And love, it's like a newborn child. It's interesting when it's young, it's pedestrian after a while. And love, it's like a garbage man, collects waste and filth, and reeks of rotten flesh. And love, it's like a hurricane. It happens in Florida and destroys